If you are over 60 and you've noticed that your legs don't feel as strong as they used, that getting up from a chair takes a little more effort, or that walking the way you did at 40 feels like a distant memory, I want you to stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you could change the way you move for the rest of your life. And I say that very carefully, because rebuilding muscle at this stage of life is not about pushing harder or exercising longer. It's about working with the body, not against it. And one of the most overlooked yet powerful ways to do that is through what you drink every single day. Yes, what you drink. Not supplements in fancy bottles, not expensive powders, but simple teas that have been used for generations to strengthen the body, nourish the muscles, and restore vitality from the inside out. And when you understand why these teas work, you'll never look at your cup the same way again. Muscle loss after 60 is often spoken about as if it is a life sentence, something unavoidable, that signal, the beginning of physical decline, but that belief does far more harm than the aging process itself. The truth is that the body is designed to adapt at every stage of life. And while muscle naturally diminishes with age, it does not disappear because the body is incapable. It disappears because the environment inside the body no longer supports maintenance and repair. For many people, this loss begins quietly, with subtle signs like slower walking, difficulty, standing from a chair, or legs that tire more quickly than they used to. These changes are not warnings that the body has failed. They are signals that the body is lacking what it needs to keep muscle alive and responsive. One of the biggest misunderstandings is the idea that rebuilding muscle after 60 requires intense exercise or pushing the body beyond its comfort zone. In reality, excessive strain often does the opposite. It increases inflammation, stresses the nervous system, and tells the body to conserve rather than rebuild. The aging body does not respond to force the way a younger body might. It responds to safety, nourishment, and consistency. When the body feels supported, it switches from survival mode into repair mode, and this shift is what allows muscle tissue to regenerate. Muscle is not just a mechanical structure that grows when you move it. It is living tissue that depends on minerals, hydration, circulation, oxygen, hormones, and nerve signals. As we age, absorption of nutrients becomes less efficient, digestion slows, and chronic low-grade inflammation becomes more common. These changes create an internal environment where muscle breakdown quietly outweighs muscle rebuilding. The solution is not to fight the body harder, but to restore balance so the body can once again do what it was designed to do. Another important factor is fear. Many people over 60 begin to fear movement because they worry about falling or injuring themselves. This fear tightens muscles, disrupts coordination, and weakens nerve communication. Over time, this creates a cycle where lack of confidence leads to less movement, and less movement leads to further muscle loss. When the body is gently nourished and supported, confidence begins to return, and movement feels safer and more natural again. It is also essential to understand that muscle loss is not a reflection of laziness or neglect. Many people have worked hard their entire lives, physically and mentally, and still experience weakness later on. This happens because the body's needs change with age, and what worked at 40 does not always work at 60 or 70. When those needs are met appropriately, even long-lost strength can begin to reappear. The body is remarkably obedient. When it receives clear signals of nourishment, calm and gentle use, it responds by rebuilding tissue, improving coordination, and restoring resilience. This process may be slower than it was decades ago, but it is still very real. Strength after 60 is not about chasing youth. It is about restoring function, stability, and confidence so the body can continue to carry you through life with ease and dignity. And when the body feels supported rather than pushed, it remembers how to be strong again. When people think about strength, they often imagine muscles as isolated parts that simply need to be worked harder. But in the body, everything is connected, and muscle strength is only as good as the systems that support it. Walking, balance, and stability are not determined by muscle size alone. They are the result of communication between the brain, nerves, blood vessels, joints, and the tiny structures that hold everything together. This is why someone can exercise regularly and still feel weak or unsteady, because strength does not come from movement alone. It comes from how well the body is able to support that movement from the inside out. Minerals play a foundational role in muscle function. Without adequate magnesium, calcium, potassium, and trace minerals, muscles cannot contract smoothly or relax fully. This leads to fatigue, stiffness, trembling, and poor coordination. As we age, mineral absorption decreases, and many people unknowingly become deficient even if they believe they are eating well. When minerals are lacking, muscles may be used daily, but they cannot respond properly, and over time they weaken rather than strengthen. Circulation is another critical factor that is often overlooked. Muscles depend on a steady flow of blood to deliver oxygen, nutrients, and building blocks for repair. Poor circulation means muscles are essentially working in a low oxygen environment, which causes them to tire quickly and recover slowly. This is especially noticeable in the legs, where gravity already makes blood flow more challenging. When circulation is compromised, walking feels heavy, steps become shorter, and balance becomes uncertain. Inflammation silently interferes with muscle health in a powerful way. Chronic, low-grade inflammation tells the body that it is under threat. And in response, the body prioritizes survival over repair. In this state, muscle tissue is more likely to be broken down for energy rather than rebuilt. Many older adults live with constant inflammation caused by stress, poor digestion, dehydration, or long-term medication use. And this creates an internal environment that works against strength no matter how much movement is done. Connective tissue is equally important, yet rarely discussed. Muscles do not operate independently. They rely on tendons, ligaments, and fascia to transmit force and stabilize joints. When connective tissue weakens, muscles lose efficiency, joints feel unstable, and movement becomes hesitant. This often leads to compensation patterns that further weaken the body and increase the risk of falls. Finally, the nervous system plays a central role in strength and coordination. Muscles only work as well as the signals they receive from the brain. Stress, anxiety, and fatigue disrupt these signals, leading to delayed reactions and reduced muscle activation. When the nervous system is calm and supported, muscles respond more fully, and movement becomes smoother and more confident. True strength, especially later in life, is the result of harmony between all these systems. When minerals are replenished, circulation is improved, inflammation is reduced, connective tissue is supported, and the nervous system is calm. Muscles are finally given the environment they need to function properly, and walking becomes not just possible, but strong, steady, and natural again. Nettle tea is one of those quiet remedies that works deeply without drawing attention to itself. Yet its impact on muscle strength can be profound, especially later in life. Many people focus on protein when they think about rebuilding muscle, but without minerals, protein cannot be properly used. Minerals are the true activators of muscle tissue, and nettle provides them in a form that the body recognizes and absorbs with ease. This is particularly important after 60, when digestion and nutrient absorption are often less efficient. even in those who eat carefully. Magnesium is one of the most important minerals found in nettle, and it plays a crucial role in both muscle contraction and relaxation. Without enough magnesium, muscles tend to feel tight, cramp easily, and fatigue quickly. Over time, this constant tension reduces circulation within the muscle, limiting oxygen and nutrient delivery and accelerating muscle breakdown. By restoring magnesium levels gently and consistently, nettle helps muscles relax properly after use, allowing them to recover and rebuild rather than remain in a state of stress. Calcium, another key mineral in nettle, is essential for muscle contraction. Every movement you make, from standing to taking a step, relies on calcium signaling within muscle fibers. However, calcium must be balanced with magnesium to function correctly. When calcium is present without enough magnesium, muscles can become rigid and uncoordinated. Nettle provides this balance naturally, supporting smooth, efficient movement rather than stiffness. Potassium is equally vital for muscle strength and nerve communication. It helps regulate fluid balance within cells and ensures that nerve impulses travel efficiently from the brain to the muscles. Low potassium levels can lead to weakness, trembling, and a feeling of heaviness in the legs. Nettle replenishes potassium in a gentle way, supporting both muscle endurance and coordination, which is essential for confident walking. Silica, often overlooked, is another valuable component of nettle. Silica strengthens the connective tissue that surrounds and supports muscle fibers, helping muscles maintain their structure and resilience. Strong connective tissue allows muscles to transmit force effectively, which means less effort is required to move and balance improves naturally. Beyond its mineral content, nettle supports the kidneys and the blood. Healthy kidney function ensures proper mineral regulation and waste removal, preventing the buildup of metabolic byproducts that can contribute to muscle soreness and fatigue. By improving this internal balance, nettle creates an environment where muscles are better nourished and less burdened by toxins. When nettle tea is consumed regularly, the body begins to feel more stable and responsive. Muscles that once felt weak or unreliable gradually regain tone and endurance, not because they are being forced to change, but because they are finally receiving what they need to function properly. Strength returns quietly, step by step, as the body remembers how to support itself again through nourishment rather than strain. One of the most common yet least recognized reasons for muscle weakness later in life is mineral deficiency, particularly magnesium deficiency. Many people associate magnesium with relaxation or sleep, but its role in muscle health goes far deeper than that. Magnesium is involved in hundreds of enzymatic reactions in the body, many of which directly affect muscle contraction, energy production, and nerve communication. When magnesium levels fall, muscles lose their ability to function efficiently, even if a person remains physically active. As we age, magnesium deficiency becomes increasingly common for several reasons. Digestive efficiency declines, meaning fewer minerals are absorbed from food. Long-term stress, which is very common in modern life, depletes magnesium rapidly. Certain medications, including diuretics and acid-reducing drugs, also increase magnesium loss. The result is a gradual depletion that often goes unnoticed because the symptoms develop slowly and are mistaken for normal aging. When magnesium is low, muscles tend to remain partially contracted, unable to fully relax. This constant low-level tension restricts blood flow within the muscle, reducing oxygen delivery and slowing the removal of waste products. Over time, this creates an environment where muscles fatigue quickly, cramp easily, and struggle to recover after use. Walking becomes more effortful, and balance may feel less reliable because muscles are not responding smoothly to nerve signals. Magnesium also plays a key role in energy production within muscle cells. Without sufficient magnesium, the body cannot efficiently produce ATP, the molecule that fuels muscle movement. This leads to a sense of weakness that is not relieved by rest, because the underlying energy machinery is impaired. Muscles may feel heavy or shaky, especially in the legs, where demand is highest during standing and walking. Calcium imbalance often accompanies magnesium deficiency, further compounding the problem. Calcium is needed for muscle contraction, but magnesium is required to switch that contraction off. When magnesium is lacking, calcium's action becomes excessive, leading to stiffness, rigidity, and poor coordination. This imbalance increases the risk of falls and makes movement feel awkward or unstable. Potassium deficiency can also contribute to muscle weakness and is frequently linked with magnesium deficiency. Potassium helps regulate electrical signals in muscles and nerves, and when levels are low, muscles may feel weak or unresponsive. Together, these mineral deficiencies create a perfect storm that undermines muscle strength and confidence in movement. The tragedy is that many people attempt to correct this weakness by exercising harder, which only increases mineral depletion and inflammation without restoring mineral balance. Effort alone cannot rebuild strength. When magnesium and other minerals are replenished, muscles begin to respond differently. Movements feel smoother, endurance improves, and recovery becomes easier. What once felt like irreversible decline often turns out to be a correctable deficiency. And when the body is given back these essential minerals, it can once again support steady and reliable movement in everyday life. Green tea is one of those rare natural remedies that works on multiple levels to support muscle health, especially as we age. Many people associate it simply with antioxidants or metabolism, but its benefits for muscle strength and energy are profound and deeply scientific. One of the key ways green tea supports muscle is by enhancing mitochondrial function. Mitochondria are the tiny power plants within every cell, and muscle cells, which require a lot of energy, are packed with them. As we grow older, mitochondrial efficiency naturally declines. They produce less energy, and muscles become fatigued more easily, even with activities that used to feel effortless. Green tea contains compounds called catechins, particularly EGCG, which stimulate mitochondrial activity, improving energy production at the cellular level. This means that muscles have more fuel to perform movements, recover, and rebuild. Beyond energy production, green tea significantly improves circulation. Blood is the delivery system for oxygen, nutrients, and amino acids, all of which are critical for muscle repair and strength. Poor circulation is a major contributor to leg fatigue, heaviness, and instability, which many people over 60 experience daily. By improving the elasticity of blood vessels and enhancing blood flow, green tea ensures that muscles receive the nourishment they need in a timely and efficient manner. This alone can make walking feel lighter and more natural, because muscles are no longer struggling against a lack of oxygen and nutrients. Green tea also works powerfully to reduce chronic inflammation. Low-grade inflammation is often silent but devastating over time, quietly breaking down muscle tissue and interfering with repair. When inflammation is present, the body prioritizes survival over rebuilding, meaning that every movement becomes less effective and recovery is slower. The antioxidants in green tea, especially EGCG, help to calm this inflammatory state, creating an internal environment where the body can focus on repair and regeneration rather than defense. Muscles can begin to recover more efficiently. Soreness decreases, and strength gradually improves. Another often overlooked benefit of green tea is its effect on the nervous system. Muscle strength is not just about the fibers themselves, but also about how well they are activated by nerve signals. Green tea has a gentle stimulating effect that supports alertness and neural coordination without causing stress or agitation. This improved communication between the brain and muscles helps movements become smoother, steadier, and more confident. Green tea also encourages fat utilization during movement, which can help reduce excess weight that often burdens joints and makes walking more difficult. By supporting efficient energy use, reducing inflammation, and enhancing circulation, green tea creates a comprehensive environment in which muscles can perform at their best. When consumed regularly, even just 1 or 2 cups a day, green tea gradually transforms the way muscles respond. Movements that once felt laborious become easier, recovery times shorten, and endurance increases naturally. It is not an immediate miracle, but its cumulative effects are profound because it addresses the root cellular and systemic issues that weaken muscles with age. The true beauty of green tea lies in its simplicity. It works quietly, steadily, and naturally, supporting muscle energy, blood flow, inflammation reduction, and nervous system coordination, all of which are critical for maintaining strength and walking with confidence well into later decades. Circulation is one of the most fundamental, yet often overlooked, elements of muscle health, particularly as we age. Many people over 60 experience heavy, tired legs or feel unstable when walking. And the root cause is often not muscle weakness alone, but poor blood flow. Muscles require a constant supply of oxygen, nutrients, and amino acids to function properly. And blood is the delivery system that makes this possible. When circulation slows or becomes inefficient, muscles are essentially working in a low-resource environment. Even gentle movement becomes tiring, recovery slows, and overall strength diminishes over time. As we grow older, circulation naturally declines for several reasons. Blood vessels lose elasticity, heart efficiency decreases slightly, and minor plaque buildup can reduce flow. This combination makes it more difficult for nutrients and oxygen to reach the extremities, particularly the legs and feet, which are furthest from the heart. Even if muscles are exercised regularly, they may not receive what they need to rebuild and maintain strength. This is why some people can walk daily yet still feel weaker than they did years ago. The effort is there, but the delivery system isn't keeping up. Improved circulation directly impacts endurance and stability. When blood flows efficiently, muscles receive oxygen and nutrients promptly, allowing them to contract and relax more smoothly. Recovery after movement happens faster because waste products, such as lactic acid, are removed more effectively. This reduces stiffness, soreness, and fatigue, creating a feedback loop where the body can continue to strengthen without being hampered by inefficient delivery of essential elements. People often notice that with better circulation, walking feels lighter, climbing stairs becomes easier, and even standing for longer periods becomes less taxing. Circulation also plays a critical role in balance and coordination. Muscle response depends not just on strength, but on timely nerve signaling. Oxygenated blood fuels the nerves and supports their communication with the brain. Poor circulation can slow this messaging, leading to delayed muscle activation, stumbling, or instability. By improving blood flow, the body enhances both the mechanical and neurological aspect of movement, creating a greater sense of confidence in everyday activities. Chronic low-grade inflammation further complicates circulation. Inflammation can stiffen blood vessels, impair microcirculation within muscle tissue, which prevents the smallest capillaries from delivering nutrients effectively. Over time, this creates an environment in which muscles are starved even when the overall diet is sufficient. Supporting circulation while reducing inflammation creates a dual benefit. Muscles receive what they need, and the environment for rebuilding becomes more favorable. Small, consistent lifestyle choices can make a profound difference in circulation. Gentle movement, hydration, and certain teas and nutrients all support blood flow and vessel elasticity. When combined, these strategies gradually restore the internal environment muscles need to perform at their best. As circulation improves, muscles not only regain strength but also respond more efficiently to everyday movement, turning. Simple acts like walking, standing, or climbing stairs into opportunities for natural, sustainable rebuilding. In essence, circulation is the hidden engine behind muscle health. Without it, even the strongest exercise routine or most disciplined effort will be limited because the muscles are not receiving what they need to function optimally. By supporting blood flow, the body becomes capable of regenerating strength, improving endurance, and restoring the confidence and ease in movement that many people thought were lost forever. Connective tissue is one of the most underestimated components of strength and stability, yet it plays a critical role in how muscles function. Particularly as we age, muscles do not work in isolation. They rely on tendons, ligaments, and fascia to transmit force, maintain alignment, and stabilize joints during movement. When connective tissue weakens, muscles may still generate force, but the power cannot be transmitted effectively, resulting in inefficient movement, instability, and a greater risk of injury. This is why many people over 60 experience difficulty walking, climbing stairs, or standing confidently, even if their muscle mass has not dramatically decreased. Silica is one of the most important minerals for maintaining connective tissue health, and horsetail tea is an excellent natural source. Silica is essential for the synthesis of collagen, which is the primary structural protein in tendons, ligaments, and fascia. Collagen provides strength, elasticity, and resilience, allowing connective tissue to absorb stress and transfer force smoothly from one muscle to another. Without adequate silica, collagen production slows, connective tissue weakens, and muscles lose efficiency. This weakening can contribute to joint instability, balance problems, and a feeling that the body is less reliable than it used to be. Horsetail tea also strengthens tendons, which are the cords that connect muscles to bones. Strong tendons allow muscles to pull effectively, generating movement without strain or wobbling. When tendons are weak, the same effort that once produced smooth, coordinated motion can become jerky or inefficient, making walking or standing feel more tiring. Ligaments, which connect bones to bones, are also supported by silica. Strong ligaments stabilize joints, preventing hyperextension or misalignment during movement. This structural support is especially important for older adults because joint instability often contributes to falls and injuries that can set back mobility for months or even years. Beyond strengthening existing tissue, horsetail tea helps maintain elasticity, which is crucial for fluid, pain-free movement. As connective tissue loses elasticity with age, joints can feel stiff, muscles may not move smoothly, and minor misalignments can accumulate, creating discomfort or imbalance. By supporting elasticity, silica from horsetail tea helps the body move more naturally, reducing strain and allowing muscles to work in harmony with the structures around them. This improved integration makes walking feel lighter, standing more secure, and movement more confident. Horsetail tea is also supportive of long-term tissue maintenance rather than rapid changes, which makes it ideal for older adults. It provides the body with the raw materials needed for repair and regeneration, but it does so gently, respecting the body's natural rhythms. When combined with consistent, moderate movement, such as daily walking or gentle stretching, the benefits are amplified. Muscles, tendons, ligaments, and fascia work together more efficiently, create a cohesive system that allows strength and mobility to be regained naturally. The hidden power of connective tissue is that it forms the framework on which muscles operate. Muscles may grow stronger, but without a strong, resilient, and elastic framework, that strength cannot be applied effectively. Supporting connective tissue through silica-rich sources like horsetail tea provides the scaffolding necessary for muscles to function optimally. Over time, this can translate into more stable, confident walking, improved balance, and a renewed sense of control over the body. Muscles may still be the visible source of strength, but connective tissue is the silent partner that ensures that strength is both functional and sustainable. Weak connective tissue is often an invisible culprit behind poor balance, joint instability, and a loss of confidence in movement, especially for people over 60. Many assume that muscle weakness alone is responsible for these challenges. But the reality is that muscles rely on a stable framework of tendons, ligaments, and fascia to function effectively. When this framework deteriorates, muscles may contract and produce force, but that force is poorly transmitted. Joints wobble under pressure, and movement becomes inefficient. This inefficiency not only makes walking, climbing stairs, or standing more tiring, but it also increases the risk of falls and minor injuries, which can discourage activity and further accelerate weakness. As connective tissue ages, it naturally loses elasticity and resilience. Collagen fibers become less flexible, tendons and ligaments may become thinner or stiffer, and fascia and develop adhesions that limit smooth movement. This structural decline often occurs slowly, which is why many people are unaware of it until they experience subtle instability, soreness, or a feeling of heaviness in their legs. Because connective tissue does not generate visible mass like muscles, weakening is easy to overlook, yet it is critical for functional strength. Muscles without a strong supporting framework cannot perform efficiently, which explains why some older adults may have sufficient muscle tone but still feel unsteady when walking or performing daily tasks. Weak connective tissue also affects the coordination and timing of movement. Muscles rely on the tendons and ligaments to maintain proper alignment and transmit signals efficiently from the nervous system. When these structures are compromised, the body's ability to respond to sudden shifts or changes in terrain diminishes, creating a sense of imbalance and increasing the likelihood of stumbling. Even small lapses in stability can lead to cautious, shortened steps and a fear of falling, which in turn limits movement. This creates a cycle where inactivity further weakens both muscles and connective tissue, reinforcing instability over time. Supporting connective tissue is not just about preventing injury. It directly influences the quality of strength and endurance. Silica, for example, is essential for collagen production and nutrients that support tendon and ligament health, allow muscles to operate at their full potential. When connective tissue is reinforced, muscles can contract and relax more efficiently. Joints move more smoothly, and balance improves naturally. This creates an internal environment in which everyday activities feel easier, safer, and more fluid. Connective tissue health also affects recovery. Muscles are repaired more efficiently when the supporting framework is strong because tendons and ligaments can transmit force correctly and allow proper alignment during movement. Conversely, weakened connective tissue increases the likelihood of minor strain, soreness, and fatigue, slowing progress and discouraging regular activity. Strengthening this internal scaffolding is therefore essential for building and maintaining functional strength later in life. Ultimately, weak connective tissue is a silent, yet powerful, contributor to loss of mobility and confidence. Muscle mass alone does not guarantee stability or effective movement. Tendons, ligaments, and fascia form the structure that allows muscles to perform at their best, transmit force efficiently, and support joints safely. When this framework is strengthened, balance improves, joints feel stable, and walking becomes not only easier but more confident. This is why focusing on connective tissue alongside muscles is crucial for anyone seeking to maintain independence, mobility, and strength well into later decades. The power of combining nourishment with gentle, consistent movement cannot be overstated when it comes to rebuilding strength after 60. Muscles are living tissue, and like any living system, they require both raw materials and regular activity to thrive. Drinking mineral-rich, anti-inflammatory, and connective tissue supporting teas alone will provide the foundation, but without movement, the muscles have no signal to rebuild or function efficiently. Movement tells the body that these nutrients are needed and that the muscles, tendons, and joints should respond and adapt. This synergy between internal support and external activity is what creates lasting strength and confidence in everyday life. Walking is one of the most effective forms of movement for older adults because it is low impact, natural, and engages nearly every muscle in the lower body. When paired with the right internal support, such as teas rich in minerals, antioxidants, and silica, walking becomes a restorative practice rather than merely a form of exercise. Each step stimulates circulation, delivering oxygen and nutrients to muscle cells and connective tissue. This enhanced delivery ensures that the minerals, antioxidants, and other compounds consumed are utilized efficiently, supporting repair, energy production, and strength. Over time, the combination of nourishment and movement produces visible improvements in endurance, balance, and walking confidence. Consistency is key in this process. The body responds to signals that are repeated over time, not to sporadic efforts. 1 cup of tea or 1 short walk may have minimal immediate effect, but when the practices are repeated daily or most days of the week, the body gradually adapts. Muscles begin to respond, tendons and ligaments strengthen, circulation improves, and the nervous system becomes more coordinated. Even small, incremental gains compound over weeks and months, transforming movement from a challenging effort into an effortless, confident activity. The role of gentle movement extends beyond just muscle contraction. Walking and light activity stimulate the nervous system, which is critical for coordination, balance, and timing of muscle contractions. Older adults often experience delayed or weakened signals from the brain to muscles, which can cause instability and fatigue. Movement, particularly when consistent and deliberate, retrains these pathways, allowing muscles to respond more efficiently. When the internal environment is nourished with teas that reduce inflammation, supply minerals, and support connective tissue, these neural improvements are enhanced because the muscles are functioning in a receptive, well-supported state. This combination also addresses the psychological aspect of strength. Confidence in movement grows when the body feels supported and responsive. People who experience improved balance, reduced fatigue, and smoother motion begin to move more freely, taking longer walks or engaging in activities they may have avoided for years. The mental reassurance of knowing that the body can handle these activities reduces fear and encourages further movement, creating a positive cycle of strength building by pairing gentle, consistent movement with the internal support provided by mineral and antioxidant-rich teas. Older adults create an environment where muscles, connective tissue, circulation, and the nervous system all work together harmoniously. This synergy is what allows strength to be regained naturally, walking to feel effortless, and confidence to return. The body responds to both nourishment and use, and when these two elements are combined, they create a foundation for rebuilding strength, balance, and mobility that is sustainable, effective, and accessible at any age. Consistency, calmness, and nourishment are the three pillars that underpin true strength later in life, and they matter far more than intensity or extreme exercise routines. Many people believe that to regain strength after 60, they must push themselves harder, lift heavier, or exercise longer than they ever have before. In reality, the aging body responds differently than a younger one. Muscles, tendons, ligaments, and the nervous system all require steady, supportive signals rather than stress or overexertion. When the body receives consistent care through nourishment and gentle movement, it gradually shifts from a state of maintenance or breakdown into one of repair and rebuilding, allowing strength and confidence to return naturally. Consistency in daily practices is crucial because the body adapts to repeated signals over time. Drinking nutrient-rich teas, walking regularly, or engaging in light stretching may seem simple, but their effects are cumulative. 1 cup of nettle or horsetail tea provides minerals that the muscles and connective tissue need, but repeated daily intake allows these nutrients to accumulate and be fully absorbed. Similarly, a single walk may not immediately transform strength or balance, but a habit of moving consistently stimulates circulation, reinforces neural pathways, and maintains muscle tone. Over weeks and months, these small, steady actions produce measurable improvements in endurance, coordination, and mobility. Calmness is equally important because stress has a direct negative impact on muscles and connective tissue. When the nervous system is in a state of tension or alert, muscles tighten unnecessarily. Circulation can be restricted, and recovery slows. Older adults often carry the cumulative effects of lifelong stress, which can manifest as stiffness, fatigue, or a sense of instability. Incorporating moments of calm, whether through mindful tea rituals, deep breathing, or gentle movement, allows the nervous system to relax. This relaxation signals the body that it is safe to repair, promoting better muscle response, smoother coordination, and a sense of ease in movement. Calmness is not just a mental state. It is a physical environment that supports strength. Nourishment, both internal and external, completes this triad. Muscles, tendons, ligaments, and connective tissue require specific nutrients to function optimally. Minerals like magnesium, calcium, potassium, and silica are essential for contraction, relaxation, and structural integrity. Antioxidants reduce inflammation that silently breaks down muscle tissue over time. Amino acids from food provide the building blocks for repair. When nourishment is consistently supplied, the body has the raw materials necessary to rebuild, recover, and adapt. Strength after 60 is less about what the muscles can do in isolation and more about creating an internal environment that supports efficient function, repair, and resilience. The beauty of these principles is that they empower the body rather than exhaust it. Strength is rebuilt through steady, supported practices, not through extreme measures that risk injury or overwhelm the system. When older adults focus on consistency, calmness, and nourishment, muscles gradually regain tone, balance improves, joints feel stable, and walking becomes more confident. The approach is sustainable, realistic, and respects the natural rhythms of the aging body. Over time, these practices not only restore physical strength, but also instill confidence and independence, demonstrate that the body is always capable of improvement when it is treated with care and given what it needs to thrive. If you found today's video helpful and want to start rebuilding your strength, walking confidently and feeling more energetic every day, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the tips and routines I share every week. And I want to hear from you. Comment below which tea you're going to try first, or if you already have a favorite that helps you feel stronger. Share this video with someone you care about who might benefit from feeling more stable, confident, and healthy after 60. Remember, small, consistent steps lead to big changes, and your body is ready to respond when you give it the right support. So grab a cup of tea, take that first step, and let's rebuild your strength together, one sip, one step, one day at a time.